Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month. But only one thing is true. I will be champion one day. I promise. I promise.
You need to stop looking at happiness as a destination. This is where everybody it up, okay? It is not a destination. It is every single day of your life you create happiness by executing against your purpose. What am I here to do? Who am I here to help? What problems am I solving? And taking action towards that every day.
I am different in any given time. The world tour was a different time. This time, I am cold. I am emotionless. I am zen, at peace, ready for war.
Why can't I create? Why can't I start? Why can't I be a business? Why can't I be a CEO? Why can't I be a tech guru? Why can't I fucking create cooking products, lotion, scents? There's so much that some people just don't understand they can do.
Vast majority of business owners work a fair amount. They just work on the wrong stuff and they do it the wrong way. And so they get so little for their effort that they wonder when they're at home empty-handed in bed, why isn't this working when I am working? But if you define work, at least the way I do, which is output. So I define work by output. And in order to get output, it's volume times leverage. So how many times you do the thing times how much you get for each time you do it. And so that is the, do you work smart or do you work hard? It's you do both. You do as many reps as you possibly can, and you do it with the most leverage possible. So if I make 100 phone calls, the leverage that I can have there would be how skilled I am. So if I make 100 calls, I might get 10 times more. And so I worked more, I had more output than somebody who has less skill. But the only way you get skilled is by doing more inputs, by working more. And so it's this virtuous cycle of doing more and getting better, and then you get more for what you do.
If you want, I figured if you want to be great, or you want to be a legend, or you want to stand out, you have to do something that no one has ever done before.
You have no fucking idea how great you really are, because you are using such minimal of what you have. And if people can learn to focus, this is what's possible. While it may not be pretty, like people want to do a documentary on me. I go, no, I don't want you to do a documentary on me. Because I will have normal, everyday people picking me apart. Oh, his life is miserable. Who wants to live like that? It's crazy how it's almost like he's sick, he's psychotic.
There's no one out there that can do anybody better than the original version of that person's authenticity, and that applies to you as well. So if you want to know why you're struggling, ask yourself an honest question. Am I actually communicating and being and developing who I really am? Or am I trying to be a version that I have consumed from someone else at some point in time? Because if it's the second part, you're always going to struggle. And if you're authentic and you keep developing your authentic personality and delivery and language and who you are, that will eventually become your competitive advantage.
That there is a way out, that there is a way to do more, to get more, to obtain more. But I personally don't want to lose all that I've been able to get. So I need to make sure that I do everything to keep it. So I can't be content.
Because if I want to be great, I'm not trying to maximize money or maximize people knowing me. I do these things because maybe someone out there will understand me and get it and say, I can grow from this guy. And others just won't.
Yeah, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. It's one of my favorites.
Bad things don't come in threes. Bad things happen, people don't know how to cope, and they allow one bad thing to snowball into more. Bad stuff sucks. The only thing worse is letting one bad thing ruin many good things.
Moving from just being talented and working hard and then really working hard, it's totally different.
You may gain information differently, and what you do with that information is up to you, but people have different roads they can go down. The education wasn't my pick of choice. It didn't do it for me. But the knowledge and the common sense that I have naturally allowed me to gain information, apply it differently. It allowed me to grow smart in so many different avenues.
You need to do a couple things. One, you need to embody the true sense of humility, which is this: I am the result of my actions, and when my actions stop, my success will stop. And you also have to understand that you are no better than anybody else, because if anybody else had executed the actions that you have executed, they would also be in your position. So how could you think it's you when if anybody else did the same exact things you did, they would be where you are?
I've been disproportionately successful in different domains in my life by ruthlessly focusing on one input. I mean, even when I was a kid, when I played video games, it's like if you find a spawn point for zombies right before the end of the level, I would just sit there for like 8 hours and just wait for the troll to come up and just slice him again and get my little diamonds and put it in. And I would just do that for hours because I was like, oh, I gotta level up my avatar. But I think I play the game of business the exact same way.
Everybody who's a professional has talent. So it's who works the hardest on their talent that will be the best. And that's when I kind of understood that you can't get to the top with just talent alone. You need work, you need sacrifice, you have to be dedicated. And it took me time, but I learned along the way and I got better over time.
What does your fucking book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? If the ending to my book can be so amazing because of all that was done, not the money, all that was accomplished, the first to do, the man that did this, he caused the merger between this. Because of his commitment and growth to this, the communities were then given this, made education this, changed the way the schooling was blah, 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 gave books, gave computers, gave all of the things that can be associated with you and your existence become a part of the chapters in your book.
Girlfriend breaks up with you. Okay, then you go into work and you sulk because you're distracted, and then you don't do the same level of effort and you're not enthusiastic. And then all of a sudden your work suffers and you get put on a PIP or you get fired. And then now you're fired and you don't have a girlfriend, and then you start gaining weight and you stop going to the gym. And all of a sudden you're like, man, bad things happen in threes. It's like, no, bad things happen all the time, and they only become interrelated if you let it affect your behavior. And so I think the equal opposite of that is thinking, okay, this bad thing occurred. What can I do to decrease the likelihood something else bad occurs in the meantime? And then boiling everything down to activities or the actions that I have to take.